Three-game interleague weekend series as the umpires have just come out of the umpire room underneath the stands here at this ballpark, Globe Life Park in Texas. Jeremiah Johnson, Brad Thompson, Dan McLaughlin with you, and we understand the rain is now gone. It's out of here, so we've got baseball coming up for Mike Shildt and the St. Louis Cardinals. And let's face it, Brad, they've got to get back on track. The bullpen last night, it kept them in the game, but want to see a full effort. Starters, relievers, hitting, everything come together.
You certainly do, but these guys were fantastic last night. 6 2/3, 2 hits, punched out 11. Gallegos, great. Webb, 2 2/3, 5 punch-outs. He was dominant. Brebbia and Andrew Miller, those guys, you'd like to see them deployed differently. You'd love the circumstances to be different, but they came in and really put out a fire.
Relievers actually retired 18 of the final 20 Texas hitters, and they had 10 strikeouts. Now, Bader was in the starting lineup yesterday. He's back in there tonight and performed well in game one.
He really did. Went 3 for 4 in game one and taking advantage of the opportunity yet again of being in there. You have the designated hitter. He gets the play. And the numbers here, the kid giving everything. 316 as a starter off the bench. He's struggling a little bit. No shocker. I mean, it's all about reps. The more pitches you see, the more at-bats you get, the more comfortable you feel. But Harrison Bader's been taking advantage of this, and the hope is that he carries on today.
Drainage lines are laid every 15 feet over the entire field. So if you're wondering about how the field will play, it is wet, certainly in the outfield. Under the grass, there's 4 to 5 inches of gravel, 10 to 12 inches of sand mixture. So to give you this idea of how well this drains, and many ballparks are like this can drain 9 to 10 inches of water per hour. And we had standing water not only on the grass in the outfield, but all along the warning track. So that's really what took a lot of time, was just trying to dry out the track and get that drying agent on the various parts that took on a lot of water.
Well, it looked like a swimming pool out there. It really did. It came down hard. It came down fast for a long time, but the field drains well. The grounds crew did a good job, and it's time to play some baseball. Dan, I know we're in Texas. I know this is the Rangers' place, but there are a lot of Cardinal fans here that are looking for a little bit better performance than they saw last night.
Reminder that Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by Steak and Shake. Get 4 meals with 4 items for $4. 444. Get more for 4 only at Steak and Shake. As Brad mentioned, a lot of Cardinal fans here, and some of those fans down the left field line got some selfies, some pics, autographs. Players were in and out of the clubhouse for the last 2.5 hours or so. Take a look at Mike Shildt's lineup. Much debate about what to do with the lineup, get it going, but a lot of the regulars are in there and their same spots. Matt Carpenter at the top, then Paul Goldschmidt and Paul DeYoung, Marcelo Ozuna, Jose Martinez, Yadier Molina, Dexter Fowler, Colton Wong, and Harrison Bader batting 9th. In center field, the DH again here for game 2, Jose Martinez. Ariel Gerardo. This guy can be very good when he's right, and when he signed, he was 15. He was 70 pounds slimmer when he signed, and now has grown into that body that you see of the major league pitcher.
Well, Gerardo making his first start of the year, but was starting in AAA. Had 4 starts in Nashville. Has pitched great out of the bullpen for the Rangers, and they're going to go to him. The word is he's going to be anywhere from 50 to 75 pitches. Not quite as lengthened out as he was about a month ago before he was recalled. He was recalled from AAA Nashville on April 26th. But heavy sink and a lot of ground balls here.
Major League Baseball honoring military members and their families throughout the weekend of Armed Forces Day, annually celebrated on the 3rd Saturday of May. And that's why you see the various patches, the hats, compression sleeves, They're dark and they've got the military colors. Cardinals in their Saturday away blue uniforms. And the first pitch swung on and missed, and we're underway. Matt Carpenter hitting an even 200, 5 home runs. Pop number 5 a couple of nights ago, and he has driven in 11. Rangers can tie a season high with their 4th straight win tonight. And the Cardinals have lost 12 of their last 15. That goes back to the 2nd of May. Only the Marlins have a worse record in that span. They're 2-10.
Not exactly the team you want to be referenced with currently.
Not right
now. With
all
due respect to the Marlins, who we know are in a full-blown rebuild.
And the 0-2 pitch. Carpenter, a base hit into right. Time for Brad Thompson's Toyota, key to the game.
The key is simple enough. It's cash in. And when we're talking about cash in, we're talking about runners. Runners in scoring position specifically, because in the last 3 games, as we know, all 3 losses for the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals 0 for 16 with runners in scoring position. It's time to cash some of those in and change the fortunes here.
Here's Paul Goldschmidt, and that gets away. Apparently did not hit him. Nearly to the backstop, so Carpenter advancing to second base, and this leads right into your key to the game. Now the Cardinals, they've seen hitters reach base prior to today 198 times in May, 6th best, 3rd in the National League, but they have stranded the 3rd most in the National League. As Goldschmidt pulls it to 3rd, Cabrera makes the play and does not advance Carpenter. And the batter will be Paul DeYoung.
Paul Goldschmidt still just trying to get right, still trying to figure it out. That's now 10 in a row, 10 balls in a row put in play by Paul Goldschmidt on the ground. Everything just been on the ground. Hasn't been able to get the ball up in the air here recently.
Now DeYoung hitting .318, 7 homers. He's driven in 19. And outside of the first game of the trip, Cardinals piled it on against the Atlanta Braves. They have been playing catch up the entire series. Be good to see them get a lead. And DeYoung hits one out to center. There's Joey Gallo with the catch, and Carpenter not running on Joey Gallo. I'm not sure I blame him. Now, you talked about it. You saw him growing up. This guy's got a big-time arm. And last night we saw it. It's one thing to have exit velocity. It's another thing to be able to have velocity coming out of your arm. And the velocity on that throw from center to 3rd was 95.8 miles an hour.
Yeah, he mowed down Colton Wong last night. He does. He's got a big-time arm. Good athlete. I know he looks, he's a big kid. He looks lumbering. He's a good athlete. Great arm.
Cardinals need a 2-out hit now from Marcell Ozuna. If you missed it, trying to advance from 1st to 3rd, Colton Wong. This had to be perfect, and it was.
Yeah, Colton gets a good jump, reads it well, but Joey Gallo comes up just throwing a strike right there on the bag to get him. In a situation where the Cardinals really didn't need to be thrown out on the base pass.
There's nobody out. They were down by 5 in that spot. Numbers on Ozuna, now hitting .226. Does have the 13 home runs, 39 driven in to lead the club. Toronto made 8 starts for Texas last year. ERA was near 6. And that pitch taken inside. So first start today, 8 relief appearances following his call up from AAA, as Brad told you. And had not thrown more than 34 pitches in any big league outing. He did average, by the way, 88 pitches in 4 April starts in the minor leagues. 2-2. And a full count with Jose Martinez on deck.
This will certainly be a game with Gerardo where Rangers manager Chris Woodward, I mean, they're going to be focusing on, how long the innings look. They'd love to get them to 50, 75 pitches would be tops, you'd have to think. But he's a guy that doesn't like to run deep into counts like this. He tries to pour in strikes early, get a lot of ground balls.
And the 3-2 strikeout of Marcell Ozuna. So the Cardinals get a man at second with nobody out. Can't bring him in. Half inning in the books. Late arriving crowd with a rain delay of 2 hours and 11 minutes. Remember, at the one coming out of the bullpen, Cardinals had some off days mixed in, and so they were able to do that. But he has been in the rotation from day one, a record of 2 and 3. Now, in his last start, Brad, it was a rough first inning. Then he settled in, and there's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
He settled in really well. He really gave up the 3 early, 5 scoreless after that. And the key in a game like this for Dakota Hudson is, and he's facing 8 lefties in the lineup, a couple of switch hitters, but 8 guys from the left side. He's got to get strike one. He's got to be able to work off of that, keep the ball down. We know this team can do some damage. We saw a little bit of it specifically in the second inning yesterday. Sinkers down.
Shin-Soo Choo, leadoff man for the Rangers, batting .293, 6 home runs, and has driven in 17. He's a guy that made the jump from Korea to right here stateside, and growing up he was a pitcher as well, and some thought he might be a better pitcher than position player, and I think he stuck with the right spot. Signed a 7-year, $130 million contract with Texas.
Yeah, he did fine.
Worked out well for him.
Fairly lucrative contract and a very, very good player. It was nice to see him make his first All-Star game last year. Been doing some good things in this game for a long time. Finally get recognized.
3-0 pitch and a strike, 3-1. I want to see Hudson be aggressive, like the guy that we saw coming out of the bullpen last year.
Here it is, hit it. And he's got so much great movement, especially downward movement. To me, with his stuff, I'd start my sinker middle and let it work.
And it's a leadoff walk. Brings in the red-hot Willie Calhoun. Mazzara in there today. Then Joey Gallo, Cabrera, Odor, homered last night. Santana, Guzman, and Kiner, Khalifa. So here's Calhoun. Couple of home runs. He's driven in 5. And their winning streak really coincides with his promotion. 8 for 16 in the 3 games that he's played in. Rangers have outscored their opponents 29-5 during their 3-game winning streak, and the home runs in their favor 10-1.
Ooh. Sometimes some guy comes in, just sparks the lineup, change things a little bit. Their pitching has been really good over that stretch too.
So here is Calhoun with Chu, the runner at first base. And this is where you're thinking, if you're Dakota Hudson, ground ball, and he gets a ton of them. Highest among starting pitchers. Ground ball rate nearly 73%. League average is 43%.
Just can't try to be too fine. That's going to be the biggest thing with him. Stuff is so good. Just fill up the zone.
And there's your ground ball, but it finds a hole into right field, and Rangers will have runners at the corners and nobody out. And we go around the horn, presented by Dobbs. Ozuna, Bader, Fowler in the outfield. Along the infield for St. Louis today, Carpenter, DeYoung, Wong, and Goldschmidt. Yadier Molina behind the plate. It brings in Nomar Mazzara. One thing you can't have if you're the Cardinals or Hudson is here we go again. Can't do it.
Well, you know what? I know that's a base hit right there. If I'm Dakota Hudson, I think, fine, same thing. I'm going to do the same thing I just did. I'm going to throw another sinker. I'm going to throw it middle. I'm going to let him ground out. You're right. You can't fall into that. You can't feel that pattern.
And the first pitch to Mazzara. But this is where you would ask, you know, a guy like Hudson. I realize young in the rotation, but hey, step up. This is your game. And by the way, he hasn't been overly sharp. It's a big game for him personally, too. Pitch well.
Well, I think at this point, I mean, there's looking around just the entire field. There's constant evaluation. How can you get better? How can each individual get better? Situations like this are one for Hudson.
That's it out of play. And it's 0-2. Mazzara 9 for 18 during his 4-game hitting streak. Raised his average up to 255. A couple of walks on Thursday at Kansas City. It was on Thursday in that sweep. Gallo on deck. Corners are in. Goldschmidt holding. Carpenter even with the bag at third. Outfield is straight away. And the 0-2 pitch by Hudson. Now time called. Chris Conroy, the home plate umpire. Jeremy Rehack down at first. Doug Eddings at second. The crew chief, Bill Miller, is at third. And the 0-2 pitch. Hudson to Mazzara. Ground ball to Carpenter. He's got the runner hung up. That's Chu. He'll try to stay in the rundown, and Carpenter will tag him out. And that is the best case scenario for St. Louis. They get that ground ball. That's an out. No run scores. 5-5 on that play.
Dakota does a good job making a pitch, inner half right there. Mazzara tries to go the other way, and Carpenter does a good job. Get him in the rundown, keep him in the rundown. Little pump fake here. Runner doesn't advance to third behind him either. Here we go. Get the ground ball again.
Or you get your strikeout. That's something Gallo will do an awful lot.
He's got 60 strikeouts this year. That's the most in the league.
It's about 36% of his plate appearances result in a strikeout. What a pick by Molina. Wow. How did he keep that in front?
I mean, that thing just checked up perfectly. That was going to be very difficult to get over and block. He wasn't going to be able to do that. You're not expecting that thing to spike like it did.
That's out of play. 63%. Doing some numbers here on Joey Gallo. Of his plate appearances result in 3 things: walk, strikeout, home run. 63%. There's the strikeouts that we were talking about. He has struck out 60 times. So
it's working for him, though, isn't it?
But he's the prototypical modern player, right?
He is. He is.
Joey Gallo said that has been the case his entire life, even as a young kid. And he pops this one up. Playable, foul territory. Carpenter with the catch and a big out, number 2. This is the kind of thing that the Cardinals need. A pick-me-up if they can get out of this inning, and a little momentum.
And Dakota Hudson has done such a good job last 2 batters executing pitches, making sure he's getting in the kitchen a little bit, not missing over the plate. And here we go. You got 2 outs. You're almost out of this jam, but you're not there yet. Time to get out of it. Time to get back to swinging it.
Rangers have 7 players that have 6 or more home runs this year. and one of them at the plate. And Cabrera, he's got 7. They hit a bunch. And the Cardinals give them up, and that's something that was a key coming into this series. And that's a slider in there for a strike. Cabrera hitting .226 and has driven in 23 this year.
The long ball is also something that Dakota Hudson has gotten better at recently. His last 4 starts, he's only given up 1 of them.
And the 0-1 pitch by Dakota Hudson. A little bit off the plate. And it's not just Hudson, but the Cardinals surprisingly giving up a number of home runs this year.
Dan, I'm not super great at math, but I got a feeling the Cardinals are on pace to break that.
I would think so.
By a wide margin.
Yeah.
A trend that Mike Schilt would like to stop.
One ball, 1 strike on Cabrera. With 2 runners on and 2 outs here in the home half of the first. Another fine play by Molina just to keep 1 man in scoring position. Second time he's done that. Well, those aren't easy plays whatsoever, because if you're a catcher and you get a breaking ball, slider especially, look at that. I mean, that's a foot or 2 in front of the plate. Sometimes they do take, with that spin, a crazy hop.
Yeah, well, you know which way they're going to check up, though. They check up back to you, and you see Yachty just soft hands, keeps the glove as wide open as he can to just knock it down. He's not trying to catch that, just trying to knock it down there.
And now a 2-1 pitch to Cabrera. 2-2. Inside corner, 2.
It's a great pitch. If he can start to prove that he can throw, Dakota can throw this fastball on the inner half for a strike and for effect, man, that just opens up a way so much with that 2-seam.
So many lefties in the lineup, pitching in for effect too. And now the 2-2 pitch. Hudson inside. Odor is on deck. Hit a 3-run homer last night. Miles Michael is saying you can't wait until this ballpark becomes rubble.
I get it.
That was one of his quotes after the game.
I had a few ballparks like that. They were newer even, that I wouldn't mind.
Runners off with the pitch, and he just got a piece to stay alive.
They're not getting rid of Wrigley anytime soon, are they?
No.
That was one of them for me.
How about Fenway?
Yeah, I mean,
Dodger Stadium.
No, I love Dodger Stadium. Okay. Yeah, that one's fine for me.
Okay. Better not say Busch Stadium.
Oh, that one. Wow. Well, it wasn't always great.
Yeah.
It was overall good for me.
All right. 3-2 the count. Pitch number 19 of the bottom of the first for Hudson, and instead he'll check on the runner. Working very slowly here in this first inning.
It's all right to slow it down with the runners on base. Make sure that he's staying within himself. The last thing that you need him to do is speed up to the plate a little bit, leave one arm side. Done a very good job so far of getting out of this. Got the ground ball, got the pop up to the infield. You got 2 strikes. Just got to finish this one off.
Bulk of the troubles for Hudson, they come early. First 2 innings, ERA is near 7, and then after that he gets settled in. It drops by nearly 4 runs.
Starts getting a feel for the sinker. It becomes automatic. Finds that arm slot. He's going to need it right here.
And the 3-2 pitch to Cabrera. Ground ball. Hudson to the bag. That's Wong, and Hudson stretches and he stays on the bag. They get the out. little bit behind him, but the stretch by Dakota Hudson clearly on the bag. No damage done. The Cardinals and Rangers, two around the horn, presented by Dobbs, Calhoun, Gallo, Mazzara. A trio in the outfield: Cabrera, Santana, Odor, Guzman, and Kiner Falefa behind the plate. A strike to Jose Martinez. 336 the average. 3 home runs, has driven in 20. Couple of hits last night. Reaching forward and a ground ball. That's Cabrera. And he makes the play. In steps Yadier Molina. And his brother spent some time here with the Texas Rangers and had a unique circumstance unfold in 2010. That was Benji. Benji was with San Francisco. Then he comes to Texas. Buster Posey had emerged for the Giants, and Benji gets 2 rings. They meet in the postseason in the World Series, so he got a World Series ring from the Giants, and Benji also got the ALCS ring from the Texas Rangers.
You ever wear the ALCS ring?
I have not seen it.
I don't think you wear it as much.
I have not seen his.
That's pretty cool, though. Be a part of both the 2 best teams in baseball in a given year.
And Benji can lay claim to the fact that he has a cycle to his name. Now, the Molinas are not the fastest of brothers. They're great players, just not known for their speed. And Benji picked up the cycle while hitting at Fenway Park. And Michael Young, Ron Washington said to Michael Young, he said, where does Benji need to hit the ball to get the triple? And Michael Young just shook his head and said, nowhere here. It's not going to happen. There's not a chance. Hit it off the wall, off a glove, got away. He was chugging.
Yes.
And got the cycle.
Perfect.
So he's one up on these guys.
So was it the last hit?
I believe so. Benji, one of our favorites.
He's the best. Him
Great
and Polo
guy.
Asensio, man, they have some fun on the Spanish broadcast. Do a great job. Guys love them.
Fun, upbeat.
Yes.
Promoting Cardinals
this game's
baseball.
Fun, man.
Yep.
I know it hasn't felt like it totally recently. Cardinals are in a skid right now. Runs have been hard to come by. 5 runs for the Cardinals in the last 3 games. We mentioned the runners in scoring position off the top, 0 for 16 in the last 3. I mean, it just hasn't been there. But these guys are working every day. Mike Schilt, his staff, they're on top of it every day. It's going to turn. I get it. I understand frustrations. And believe me, they've got them too. They also believe that the work that they're putting in is going to get it going for them.
Dexter Fowler in the starting lineup again. A lot of talk about, do you move Dexter up in the lineup? It's on the table.
Yeah, I think everything is at this point. You're looking at ways to get your team better, but you also believe, in preaching patience. We'll see.
And a 2-2 pitch to Fowler. Out in front, second strikeout. And there's 2 away, and it brings in Wong.
Corrado goes with the changeup right here, sells it well. Anytime you've got a guy that has a really good 2-seam fastball, if he has a good changeup that he can throw behind it, really does a good job of keeping hitters at bay. That was a good one there.
Last time the Cardinals finished May under 500 was back in 2012. That was a postseason year. Cardinals would have to go 10-1 the rest of the way out to have a record above 500 in the month of May. So it gives you an idea. It's been a struggle, but it is the ebbs and flows of a long season, and right now a tough stretch. As Wong taps it back to the pitcher, and he makes the play. So the Cardinals strand their second runner midway through 2, and there's no score.
And Rangers Cardinals, the skies have cleared. We should have baseball for the rest of the day without a delay. I'm not used to these rain delays covering the Pacers in the NBA. Looking forward to the rest of this series with a designated hitter and Harrison Bader. He's playing in center field. You see him right there due up first for the Cardinals in the third inning. I spoke with Harrison before today's game, and I was listening to Dan's podcast with John Mozeliak on Monday, and John told Dan that we've got to get Harrison more at-bats. So I relayed that message to Harrison. I asked him what he thought about it. He said, he kind of shook it off a little bit. He said, I'm never going to let circumstances prevent me from blossoming. We have 3 incredible, talented outfielders, and I just happen to be the 4th. If anything, I use it as a chip on my shoulder. When I get that opportunity, I have to play with a little bit of an edge. He had that edge last night, 3 for 4, had the home run. Brad, I'm curious, you know what that edge is all about?
I don't. What is the edge all about?
I think it's just trying to, prove yourself a little bit, and that's kind of what Harrison Bader's trying to do. And
I dig it.
He's taking advantage of this opportunity right now.
I thought the edge was Jeremiah, that he listened to Dan's podcast as well.
Nice work, Jeremiah. That was one of the best reports we've heard in years.
Scoops.
That's right, Scoops with Danny Mack, and you can hear John Mozeliak every Monday. Gratuitous plug. Little hop to the second baseman Wong, and that's the first out. You get most of your information from that website.
Sure. Yeah, it's great.
And by the way,
that's the happiest you've been, by the way, with an update in quite some time.
Oh yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love Jimmy, but when you reference the website, I mean, scoopswithdannymac.com. I mean, my goodness.
I get it.
You've made a couple of appearances on that. Didn't get a lot of traction, but it was nice of you to do it. Here's Danny Santana, the switch hitting shortstop. And by the way, when Jeremiah throws it back to you, you're the guy that played. You're the expert.
So I thought
that
he had like a follow-up, like a point from Harrison about the edge. I wanted to throw it back to him. I didn't mean to not answer the question. I could have come up with the edge, like you're the man left out and you want to fight. I had that in the holster.
Yeah.
But I thought that there was a follow. That's my fault. I should have talked to Jeremiah beforehand.
You should apologize to him.
Jeremiah, that's my fault. Didn't mean to leave you hanging there.
Brad, that's okay. I'll give you another opportunity later this series. I've got some material on your career, so just be listening the next time I toss it back. And then maybe provide some information about how it relates to this team the next time I give you a chance.
Well, it must be about the struggles they're going through. Thanks, Jeremiah.
Home runs allowed.
Yeah, a lot of issues popping up that my career could reference.
There's a 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Nasty pitch there by Dakota Hudson, and his first strikeout. Yeah, Brad does get a lot of his information from scoopswithdannymac.com, and I saw you listening to it during the rain delay.
Yeah, it was great. Not as good as that slider right there by Dakota Hudson. Dakota really locked it in after that first inning and got himself out of a jam that he had to labor in the first inning. Been smooth sailing so far. Get out of this inning.
Rangers had first and third, nobody out, and he got out of it. And that's fouled back by Ronald Guzman. He's got 4 home runs, 10 driven in, batting .196. He's not a prototypical first baseman in terms of the power. Rangers, though, have talked about the fact that they have a lot of power up and down their lineup, and they feel comfortable with Guzman being a guy that doesn't hit for a ton.
I don't really necessarily buy into you have to profile power-wise at this position. If your team has balance, who cares where that stuff is coming from? It really doesn't matter. If I've got a second baseman like Odor that hits a ton of home runs, then fine. It can even some stuff out. To me, it's about building the most balanced ball club that you can do, and that's kind of where Guzman comes in.
Hits it out of play. They've really tried to get him, and talking with those cover the Rangers every day, to quiet his body and his hands in his stance. And you see a little movement with that. Guys will do that just to stay loose. But they've still got to get back to a trigger position. And sometimes he gets locked up with that. And the 0-2 lifted in the air out to shallow right. And Fowler won't get there. Drops in for a hit. MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Busch Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem special check-in offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Kiner Falefa. Isaiah, the first name. Got to wonder how the outfielders will move today in terms of, jumps, making sure they don't slip. Can they get to certain balls? It'll probably be a very slow outfield.
There was so much water on that field. I know before the game we showed you guys the time lapse of what it looked like. I mean, there was standing water. So you're right, it could be slow, could be slippery.
Slowly hit up the third base line, but foul.
Standing water there out on the track. Nowhere near what it looked like before. The lighter colored dirt, that's a drying agent that the grounds crew was throwing out, bags upon bags of it.
One ball and one strike. A little bit low. Balls behind, 3 balls, 1 strike, and that was a 2-1 slider.
Yeah, I like a 2-1 count. And he's batting under 200, and honestly, 2-1 count to anybody with his sinker, kind of like that thing. Throw that sinker middle, throw it middle away.
Next by Hudson. Good movement.
Right
it's
there.
3-2, and they'll be off with this next pitch.
Do it again.
Third loss in a row for the Cardinals last night. They now have had three-game losing streaks this year. Trying to change that today. Off with the pitch, and it's a called third strike. Couple of strikeouts in the inning. Rangers have left 3 on. We move to the third. It'll be Bader, Carpenter, and Goldschmidt coming up. Our truck said, I know what you're talking about, Dan. Here it is. I'll put it together. And it's the cycle for Benji. And it was indeed the triple that he got to complete the cycle. Uh-oh. Come on, Benji. Come on, baby. Yes.
Standing up. Of course it was standing up. Look at him.
And smiling.
Always smiling.
He is. Nice work, Benji. And thank you to Brian McCann. Here's Harrison Bader, who had 3 hits last night, including a home run late down the right field line, and pulls that foul. Keith O'Brien also, well, he built the graphic for that package too. So thank you, Keith O'Brien.
All of that on the fly too, huh?
Tom Mee, our director.
Talented group back there.
Bill Cochran, our producer. Really an aggressive leader sometimes with Bill.
He yelled at you yesterday.
It's very vocal. So, as you have probably learned, Brad, you just get, oh, okay, Bill.
Well, I
whatever
think,
you need.
You know how that is, though. It's part of leadership. Look, if he puts you in line, that means everybody else falls in line. It's like Belichick with Brady, you know?
Base hit. Bader around first and back in safely. Thought about 2. and stays at first base, and a leadoff single.
Harrison was thinking two right out of the gate, serves it into right field, running hard, takes the hard turn, makes sure he gets back. It is pretty close, but not that close. That's what Harrison brings to the game. He brings the hustle. 3 for 4 last night, gets something going in his first at bat right now, but the speed is a game changer.
Well, according to Jeremiah, brings the edge. Of course, you didn't want to explain that, did you?
Once again, I thought there was a follow-up, and I thought he had something with the edge. But yeah, he does bring an edge. And when you're the odd man out, oftentimes, you have that edge to you.
Here's Carpenter, singled on an 0-2 pitch his first time up. Benji Molina also had a very famous home run in 2010 in the postseason. That was against the Yankees as they made it to the World Series, and that home run, Game 6, helped clinch it against the Bronx Bombers.
Pretty impressive family,
I'd say. 1 ball and 1 strike. Check swing and foul ball off the bat of Carpenter. He would single on the 0-2 pitch, advance to second base on a pass ball, and the Cardinals had nobody out with Goldschmidt, DeYoung, Ozuna. Runner at second, nobody out, could not cash in.
Can't happen again. I mean, it just can't. We're at the point now where the Cardinals, they need something to go right. These games are going to be tight. They're not showing signs of being able to blow the doors off you, so you got to get a guy on, get him over.
And Carpenter lines it into right. It's caught, and Bader back to the bag at first. Here's Goldschmidt, grounded to third. First time up and 0 for 1.
Would love to see Goldie just get something up in the air. Difficult against a sinker baller in Gerardo. The last 10 he's put in play have been on the ground.
1 home run, 6 runs batted in his last 23. Graduated from the Woodlands High School here in Texas, and then went on to Texas State University. Room on that right side of the infield. Sometimes too you've got to generate offense, and he falls behind 0-2, and that's good speed at first base with Bader. Do you think about running? Do you think about hit and run? I mean, anything right now to get it going.
I do. I mean, not hit and run currently, but yes.
Sure.
Yes.
In general.
Absolutely. Just got to figure out a way to spark something. And if the top of your order isn't doing, the things that you're expecting to do, maybe the bottom of the order can get moving a little bit. Put a little pressure on the defense, put pressure on the pitcher, put pressure on the catcher, and hope that somebody breaks.
A ball and 2 strikes. A check on Bader. Back in. Puts it in play to first, and throw is almost into left field. Cardinals will have 2 runners on with 1 out. Easier throw too for a left-handed first baseman in Guzman, but nearly put it in left field. The fielder's choice E3 on the play.
He ends up rushing this one a little bit, just sails on him. Harrison Bader running to the inside to make that throw a little bit more difficult, but just throws that way up the line, drops the arm, and I believe he had a tiny bit more time to make that throw than maybe he expected. But the Cardinals catch a break. They've caught a few breaks within this series, but they haven't been able to do anything about it. Paul DeYoung liked to change that.
Runners at first and second. First pitch is strike. He fly to center. First time up. Runners at first and second. And the 0-1 pitch to the Cardinals shortstop. Gets away. And runners advance to second and third. It's always a dicey play for the trail runner. And Goldschmidt had to wait for Bader to take third. He finally did. And now the Cardinals have to get something here. Second and third, one out.
Corrado just spikes the sinker here. Kind of left, it gets to it, but not fast enough. Bader with a good jump. Goldschmidt does a good job as the trail runner, like you said. Sees it down. Goldschmidt keeping his eye on Harrison Bader, making sure exactly what he's going to do, and then he gets there. Base hits, 2 runs.
Ruled a pass ball, and that's a foul ball. One and two the count. DeYoung hits it up the middle. Nice play to his left. That's Santana. Makes the play, but a run does score. That's Bader, and the Cardinals have a lead. We haven't said that recently, and that's good news.
Say it again, Dan.
Cardinals have a lead.
Just works up the middle. This is a pitch away. Goldschmidt gets back. Harrison going as soon as he sees it on the ground. And say it again, Dan.
Cardinals have a lead of 1-0, and you know, Texas was a good throw away from having an inning double play. Here's Ozuna, struck out his first time up. 14 strikeouts in his last 14 games and hitting just above 100 for Marcel. He could change that here. Nothing at 2. RBI for Paul DeYoung, number 20. Goldschmidt, the runner at second base. Ozuna swing and a miss, and he strikes out for the second time. Cardinals get a run, and we're midway through 3. St. Louis on top here in game 2. And you can get your Ticketals.com/promotions. That's coming up Saturday, the Yachty Dog Bowl a week from today. Atlanta Braves will be in town. Cardinals have off day on Monday. Night game on Tuesday against Kansas City, then a day game Wednesday, off day Thursday, and then 3 with the Atlanta Braves. Top of the lineup, Shin-Soo Choo. And a strike. He walked first time up. Texas had a great opportunity to get an early lead. They had runners at first and third, nobody out, and did not score in that bottom of the first. Nothing in 2. I thought that first inning was huge, not only for the Cardinals, but for this young man right here. Get out of it, settle in, relax.
You don't want to have that feeling, as you were talking about off the top, like, here we go. Right. Nothing can go right. He gets a ground ball. The ground ball goes through the hole. A couple runs score. It does kind of weigh on you mentally, but he did a good job getting out of it. Got a ground ball, got a pop up. It was big. And then comes back the next inning and just pumping strikes.
Quite the shift here on Shin-Soo Choo. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's some incredible numbers from last year to the year before on shifts. Nearly 8,000 more shifts on balls in play in 2018 than 17. And if you want to go back to just 5 years ago, there were 28,000 more shifts last year than 5 years ago. 28,000 in the game of baseball.
I would say it's trending up, Dan.
There's been some talk of, would you change how you can shift, making sure there's at least 2 on the left and 2 on the right side. You could be maybe a few inches from the bag. You could be on the outfield grass, but you had to have 2 and 2. This case, 3 on the right side. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Hudson has struck out 3 of the last 4 he's seen.
Dakota goes with the 3-2 slider in. Looks like the fastball out of his hand. Ends up being down back foot. Gets the swing and miss by Choo. That pitch is so good for him. I mean, it's been rated within the organization. A couple years ago, it was the best slider in the organization. He's brought it to the big leagues. It's good. Sinker's great. Slider plays off of it.
Here's Calhoun. Single to right first time up. He came over from the Dodgers. It was a 4-player deal back in 2017. Originally a selection of the Tampa Bay Rays. And he was part of the Yu Darvish deal in 2017 and the stretch run for LA. Hits it sharply and a nasty hop there at the end for Colton Wong. Came up on him, but he makes the play, and there's 2 away. Nomar Mazara, the right fielder. Mentioned it earlier, a club that's got a lot of pop in Texas with 7 players that have 6 or more home runs. You've got Seattle, Minnesota. They're off to a fabulous start. Then Texas, Houston, the Padres, and the Cubs. All teams in our Kubota Power Stats with good chance to make postseason play, barring, you would think, the Texas Rangers when it's all settled. And that's it out of play. He is the first batter to swing at the first pitch against Hudson today. March 29th, 482 feet for Mazara. Think he knew it?
I think he had a good idea.
Wow.
That one might get out of the ballpark.
A 1 pitch. Now 0-2. Mazara from the Dominican Republic. Signed as a non-drafted free agent back in 2011.
Dakota Hudson attacking also with the fastball. It's interesting. Mazara's splits. 333 against off speed, only batting $190 coming in against the fastball. You throw him the breaking ball, it's going to be down.
Mazara came up in 2016, and in 3 years he's had 20 home runs and even 20 every year.
This is a count right here too where he likes to come out of his shoes.
And a swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts and 4 today for Dakota Hudson. Martinez, Molina, Fowler coming up.
Top 4, there is Lynn, former Cardinal, current Texas Ranger. He pitched Thursday for Texas against Kansas City, so he is not in the rotation this weekend. But it was always nice to catch up with Lance before today's game, and I asked him about that 2011 World Series. You have to bring that up when the Cardinals are playing the Rangers. He had 5 appearances as a rookie. He said, I still think it's weird because I was a rookie. Everything went so fast. It was like a flash, and I just didn't want to mess anything up. So I really didn't get to take it in as much as I thought I would, but I really appreciate that every day. That team that took me in as a young player, he certainly appreciates that opportunity. And I know he had some special comments and words of appreciation for Jim the Cat Hayes. They have quite a relationship, and I know Jim's watching at home. He was disappointed he couldn't renew acquaintances with Lance Lynn. I know he's a frequent guest on the Cat Chat podcast as well, Lance Lynn. Good to see Lance again.
What is this,
I got to start a podcast.
Promotional game?
Maybe.
I don't want Jim feeling left out, so I got your podcast in the first.
Okay.
So now I'm done talking about podcasts.
I got you. Off the bat of Martinez to left, and the catch is made.
Okay,
Lance Lynn is a beauty.
He's awesome.
Post-game interviews the best.
Hey, it was, if you didn't get it, it would come off a little wrong, and
if you first saw him or met him, he'd say,
guy's
wait a
real
minute.
jerk.
Yeah.
He's awesome. The guy's incredible. He's got such a great, dry sense of humor.
So here is Molina. Lance Lynn was, you may remember, working out of the bullpen, too, in that World Series club of 2011. And throwing hard back then, too. He was a 97, 98 mile an hour guy. And very, very good for that club. Molina grounds out. 1 for 2 today, and it brings in Dexter Fowler. My favorite line from Lance, he said, Dan, more money I make, the better looking I get.
Isn't that amazing?
It just is amazing.
He's got good self-awareness, too. Handsome man.
Yes, sir. So 2 outs, and here's Fowler. I think you put it best. You have to understand Lance to understand the post-game interviews. He was not trying to be a jerk or aloof or being mean. It was just his way of having a little fun with it.
I could understand being in the scrum there trying to interview him and it not being the most comfortable thing off the bat. But then you get it.
He was on a caravan with me in his early days before he'd even made it to the big leagues, and I forged a friendship with him there and carried over to his time in St. Louis. Love being around him.
I still remember a post game where he was asked, what did you throw? And he just looked and said, I threw a fastball and a fastball and a fastball and a fastball. That's Lance Lynn in a nutshell.
Well, he answered the question.
That's right.
Strikeout of Fowler. Fun day at the ballpark. It's 1-0. Connection to some of the headlines around Major League Baseball. Chris Bryant with 3 home runs, 12th player all time with home run in 3 straight innings. And how about Ryan Presley, 39 straight scoreless outings. It's now a Major League record. Our T-Mobile connection to the game. Houston is loaded, and
they get it all figured out, aren't they?
They're 8.5 in front of the Angels. Texas also 8.5 back in the AL West. We'll see Houston coming up interleague play in St. Louis, and that'll be a celebration of the 2004 championship club. Whole weekend long celebration. Here's Joey Gallo.
The Astros are one of those teams where all the other teams that are in your, we'll just go rebuild. Everybody that's rebuilding says, I want to do what the Astros are doing. How many #1 picks they've had? It's difficult, especially with as many teams doing it as there are now. Hard to have that success.
Base hit into right. And the leadoff man is aboard. Gallo is 1 for 2. Well, they even had a #1 pick that never signed, and that was Brady Aiken. Remember him, the left-handed pitcher.
He had elbow issues, right? And they didn't want to give him what he was asking for.
That's why there are some in the game that feel that you have to have a floor on salary, so that if indeed you want to, and use the term tank, you at least got to put some type of product out there that is representative of major league talent.
I wholeheartedly agree on the floor. shouldn't have that type of disparity between teams. There's always going to be big markets that spend more, but there are some teams where you look at the bottom line and say, whoa, what are we trying to do here?
Cabrera with a fly ball to left. Ozuna picks it up and makes the catch out in left field. Had to battle the sun a little bit, and that's the first out here in the home half of the fourth. Rougned Odor. You know, you see fights in baseball and you think, there's no fight. You know, the guys come in from the bullpens and there's some talking. There's just some point, maybe a little shoving, and then there's Rougned Odor's punch from 3 years and 2 days ago.
It was kind of awesome
against Jose Bautista of the Toronto Blue Jays. I mean,
he wasn't messing around.
No, sir. To Odor's credit, he said, I'm not proud of the moment. You know, it happened. Let's lift it to right, backing up Fowler to make the catch. There's pictures of it. And he said, I'm not going to sign those pictures. So here it is, Bautista going into second base. There had been some bad blood. Ooh. Bam. I mean, that's a pretty good right hook.
Hey, the thought process, likely, don't wait to get hit. Go ahead and get somebody. You don't see that ever, really. You get some pushing, like you say, you get some shoving, holding each other back, yelling a bunch of things, but that escalated quickly.
Here's Danny Santana, shortstop. That's
so
only the sixth pitch this inning by Hudson.
He won't sign those pictures, huh?
It's my understanding, yeah.
Is Nolan Ryan still signing?
Robin Ventura?
He's still signing that one, I think. Robin didn't like to sign that one for a while.
Did he sign him?
I think he does.
Before he became the White Sox manager, I did a game. He was my analyst doing a college baseball game. And I just didn't have the...
you didn't want to ask about it?
I didn't have the guts to do it. I wanted to. The guy had a great career, and yet that's what you know.
I know.
The headlock and blood everywhere, and Nolan Ryan beat him up.
Career, actually. I mean, he played for a long time.
Yeah.
Picked the wrong battle, though.
No, Nolan Ryan was not messing around. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's a famous fight. Recent memory. Cardinals brawl with Cincinnati. Yasiel Puig was suspended for a couple of games earlier this
Pirates.
year. Yeah.
Literally, he fought the Pirates.
Looks like he and Madison Bumgarner may have it out one day.
That was a great comment by Madison Bumgarner after the home run that Puig hit. Puig hit a home run off of him. And Madison Bumgarner, I'm ad-libbing, but he said he's a real quick study. Took him 7 years to learn how to hit that.
It's pretty good.
Yes.
So runner at first and 1 and 2 here on Santana as Hudson has gotten settled in a bit. Foul back. We flash back, and here's this one. Got him in a headlock, and boom. And then the pictures after that with the blood on the front of the Rangers jersey. 1993.
You saw the wheels turning there for Ventura just for a second. It's like gosh darn it, I'm gonna do this. And then it didn't go so well.
He was in the latter stages, obviously, of Nolan Ryan's career, and he played forever. That's fouled back. He's 46 at the time, if my numbers are right, because he's 72 and 46. Wow. Oh, man.
That's a different type of strong right there.
Here's a 1-2 pitch by Hudson. right down the middle. He struck him out. Strikeout number 5. Dakota is settled in. 1-0 Cardinals. Gallo, why are those two together? Scott's triple threat. Highest max effort arm strength MLB outfielders this season. Remember, he got Colton Wong last night, Tyler Naquin, Joey Gallo, Hunter Renfroe on that list. Got to think that those guys had some pitching in their past, right?
Yeah, just a tiny bit. I know Gallo did, threw that no-hitter in high school, and that max effort refers to the top 10% of their throws as far as the velocity goes. 97.6. A pretty good average right there for Joey Gallo.
Did you see him pitch?
Yes. Yeah, I went to a couple of his games. We used to work out at the same facility. He was way younger than me, obviously. But I went to go watch him in high school because I heard so many great things, and quite impressive. Impressive with the bat as well. Played shortstop.
This is Friday, and the play that was over 95 miles an hour. I mean, right on the bag. Cardinals challenged it, but to no avail. They were down by 5 runs and nobody out. Wong trying to take third. Throw had to be perfect, and it was.
With the jump that he got, 9 times out of 10, he's safe there.
There'll be
but
some,
there's
though.
Number 10 right there.
But there's some, though, that will say, look, if you're going to do that, go to third. You've got to be standing up.
Yeah, I agree. It was not good to get thrown out there in that situation, but it was perfect, and you learn from it.
Fly ball to left off the bat of Colton Wong for the out, and he's 0 for 2. Brings in Bader, who singled to right and has scored the only run in this ball game. So what happens Tuesday night? No DH, and Bader's hitting. Fowler's starting to hit. Martinez, Ozuna right now in a funk, but he would be a primary guy that you would keep in and let him get out of it.
Well, I'll tell you this, that's exactly the problem that Mike Shildt wants to have. He wants to have too many good players to put in there. And that's all Harrison Bader can do right now is force the issue. He hasn't been getting as many chances as he's like to. He's dealt with the back stuff, dealt with the neck. And Jose Martinez has ran with his opportunity. That's what you want as a manager. Everybody doing their thing and fighting for playoff time or playing time.
He's 7 for his last 20. Bader is as a starter. And much of that has been kind of hit and miss. So very well done to keep himself sharp and ready to play. 2-1. Chopped up the middle. He'll make it close, and he's safe at first. That speed comes into play. Santana could not get a handle. Bader racing down the line, and he's on base for the second time.
You are absolutely right. That's exactly what speed does. Danny Santana knows that he's got to be quick. He can see as the play is developing right in front of him. He's watching Harrison Bader bust it up the line. Misses it on the transfer. And here we go. Harrison's got something going again.
Here's Carpenter, who is singled and lined out. Bader started towards second, now diving back into first. By the way, it was ruled a single, so he's 2 for 2.
Harrison was going there. The footing just lost. We got a lot of rain today. Now they had the infield covered, but still damp.
And the next two, Carpenter. Well, the Rangers, with this opener that they've used last night and again today, their second pitchers, I would assume, they felt pretty comfortable going into this game with the way that things unfolded yesterday. And Gerardo is now pitching here in inning number 5.
Pitch count at 67 now. They said around 75 would be tops for Ariel Gerardo. A little stirring in the bullpen for the Rangers, but he's done a very good job getting them deeper and deeper into games. Once again, this is his first start of the year. at the big league level, had 4 starts in AAA in Nashville, had thrown multiple innings out of the pen, been really good since being recalled. And they've got to like what they see here, having him extended a bit more at the big league level.
2 balls, 1 strike on Carpenter. Ton of room on the left side of the infield. And he hits it the other way. It's well hit. Calhoun back at the wall, off the top of the wall. They're going to rule this a home run. Bader will score regardless, and Carpenter waved in. 3-0 Cardinals. An opposite field home run for Matt Carpenter, and his second home run this trip, and his second hit today.
Generally, when Matt Carpenter hits a home run, it's pull side, but this is sinker running away from him. He lets it travel. He stays back. He gets it up in the air, and he gets it right on top of the wall. Matt Carpenter with a smile on his face. We haven't had a chance to see as many of those here recently. Looks like the umpires might be checking this thing out, making sure it was a home run, but believe it to be either way. Great piece of hitting.
Now, my understanding was that it has to go over the red line out there. I think.
I believe there's a gap, though,
Is
in
there
between.
A gap? Oh, yeah, there is. So that's off the top of the wall. I think this is going to be a double. Yeah, that'll be a double.
They hit that edge, pop right back.
Now the question will be, will Bader be allowed to score from first base?
He was basically there already. They played it live off of the wall. The relay throw came in.
They did and they didn't. I was watching the umpire down the third base line. He initially gave it the ring as if to say, okay, that's a home run. Now
Calhoun played it live.
Yes, and Bader was going to score easily on this. The question will be, I think, if you want to have a question on this, did it hit that back little red line fence and then come back in? And the answer to that is no. So if that's the case, I think it's going to be ruled a double.
Matt Carpenter's ready.
So this would be an umpire review, which is something that is not going to be charged against Texas. Umpires can review home run calls, and that will be a double. Yep, just like I thought. And then Mike Schilt hopped out of the dugout immediately as if to say, now wait a minute, we're okay with that. You got a ruling there, but Bader has to score. And that will be the ruling on that play, which then it becomes discretionary call for the umpires on that play. So
which is
they
the right call
that he will score, and it's a double for Carpenter, and he makes it a 2-0 St. Louis lead. And the Rangers appealing to see if he tagged the base at third, and apparently he did, so 2-0. Infield hit, double by Carpenter, and a 2-0 lead. Bader has scored both runs for St. Louis today, and now it's Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt is 0 for 2. What are you seeing right now with Paul and how, pitchers are attacking him?
Well, pitchers are busting him in off the plate and sliding him away, and he just hasn't looked comfortable in his stroke. He hasn't been able to elevate the ball. We know when Paul is right, you see him driving the ball, you see him driving it the other way, in the air, in the gaps, and just hasn't looked comfortable. They've done a great job of keeping him off balance, but even when Paul Goldschmidt is right, there's really no such thing as keeping him off balance. He's one of those guys where you can't go to the same location twice. You can't show him different looks. He's just a tick off currently.
Way outside and low. 2-2. And the next two, the Cardinal first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt. Hits it down the left field line, but hooks it foul. And now a word from Great Southern Bank.
Watching the 2-0 while your friends go for the steal? We understand. Great Southern Bank. We're fans too.
With Brad Thompson, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jeremiah Johnson, our reporter today. Runner at second, Matt Carpenter, a 2-0 St. Louis lead. The 2-2 pitch. Instead a pickoff, and they had him, but they dropped it. Odor, boy, they would have had him. He dropped it. That was the 272nd career double, by the way, for Matt Carpenter, which he now has moved past Curt Flood. 14th all-time in that category in Cardinals history.
Carpenter catches a big-time break right there.
Yeah, he was dead to right, dead to right.
Good move. Good call by Odor, just bad execution.
That's hit down the right field line and out of play. Boy, there's so many players that owe so much in sports, and certainly in baseball, to Curt Flood. Challenged Major League Baseball, became a free agent, and players enjoy the robust salaries they do. Big reason why, Curt Flood. That's taken low.
Thanks to Curt, we actually have that hot stove season where you're seeing all of these guys, and it's become a season of its own, really. The off seasons now, where these contracts are, where these free agents are going, there's excitement built around it, and stuff like that doesn't happen unless someone steps up.
Full count on Goldschmidt, and he draws a walk. Well, you got to wonder if Texas is saying that's enough. Single, double, now a walk, and the batter will be DeYoung. First walk issued from this right-hander. It's Jenmar Gomez. So right-hander will come in and face Paul DeYoung with runners at first and second when we come back. This date in history brought to you by the Lou Fuse Automotive Group. See more at Fuse.com. Cardinals walk it off against the Rays May 18th of 2008. Ryan Ludwig, and then the next day it was Skip Schumacher. 2008. Our Lou Fuse, this date in Cardinals history. Jenmar Gomez from Venezuela. We have seen him before. He's been with Cleveland, number of seasons with Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Last year, 26 games with the Chicago White Sox. He signed a minor league deal in early January with the Rangers.
I like this matchup for the Cardinals here too. Righty's hitting .395 against him.
And that's ball one to DeYoung. Picked up an RBI and a ground out back in the third. He's also flied to center. Back in 2016, Gomez had 37 saves. You may remember that. He was at the back end of their pen with the Phillies. The Cardinals feasted on Jenmar a couple of times. That's pulled fair inside the third base line, down into the left field corner. One run is in. DeYoung to second. Here comes Goldschmidt. He'll score. And DeYoung, a big hit for St. Louis. Drives in 2.
The Cardinals needed that one big time right there. Paul DeYoung stepping up. A couple of RBIs, double here. Inside, drives it down the line, just gets the hands in. Man, that's huge.
That closes the book on Gerardo. 4 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, walked 1, struck out 4. And now Marcell Ozuna. You know, funny thing about Marcell, he can look off, and he struck out twice today and didn't look good doing it. But then he can strike quickly. Hit one of those mammoth home runs. Seeing a lot of sliders, which has been the case for both Goldschmidt and Ozuna.
Well, I've also seen Ozuna really put a hurting on some sliders that don't exactly slide the way that they want to. If you don't execute it down and away, if you leave that up middle, watch out.
Hyundai pitch arsenal on Genmar Gomez.
Sinker, changeup, slider. Righties are going to get the sinker, slider. Lefties are going to get the sinker, changeup. The curveball is there. Doesn't pull it out of the pocket very often.
A little bit low, 3-1. Jose Martinez on deck.
He's going to try to get Ozuna to expand still. Does have the base open. Wouldn't be expecting the heater down the middle.
Full count. It's now 16 doubles for Paul DeYoung. He's at second base. Full count on Marcell Ozuna. Fought it off. Got a fastball there. Interesting because this day and age, first base open, a guy like Ozuna.
Slider.
That's right. So was able to fight that off.
Got to be careful when you're going to do it. There is room in on Ozuna, but you got to make sure you're getting it in there. And you know that he's going to want to swing too, but I wouldn't throw him another one in there if I were Gomez. I'd go with the slider away.
3-2 again. And it's taken low. So Marcell draws the walk. Gomez has come in, allowed the double. And now a walk, and it brings in Jose Martinez. Jose Martinez has grounded to third, flied to left. Runners at first and second for the Cardinals. And a ball low and in. Left-hander begins to throw for Texas. They've got Martin, they've got Springs out there, and that's Brett Martin in the Texas pen. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Martinez. And a base hit into right field. They're going to wave him in. The throw will go to third, and diving in, Ozuna, and he's safe as the ball scooted away. DeYoung scores, and it's 5-0 Cardinals. How about Marcell Ozuna aggressively taking third?
Marcell has been running the bases very well this year, very aggressive, and doesn't waste any time first to third here. Martinez comes through with another hit with runners in scoring position. Now that's 2. Paul DeYoung snapped at 0 for 21 before that with runners in scoring position. Just a fastball middle, drives it away. You know you're going to get the 1 run in. Paul DeYoung freezes, makes sure it gets through. It does. And Marcell is running hard the whole way. Jose Martinez comes through. Big, continue to cash in, continue to pile on.
Runner goes. Hit and run was on. They avoid the double play. Odor, his only play to first base. Ozuna will score. 6-0 Cardinals.
That's just some good baseball right there. You get the clutch hit beforehand, and then you put on a little hit and run here. Odor has to come back. Got nowhere to go. And the Cardinals get another run. Great piece of hitting by Yadier Molina, somebody that you can put anything on when he's at the plate.
That run, though, is generated by Ozuna.
Oh, big time. First to third, being aggressive. Like what I'm seeing today.
Cardinals have opened up a 6-0 lead here in the top of the 5th. 6-0. We're in the top of a couple of outs. Marcell Ozuna aggressively going to third. StatCast AI powered by AWS.
28.8 feet per second. Well above the league average. Just for a reference, too, the fastest sprint speed so far this year, 30.1 feet per second. Isaac Galloway of the Marlins, Byron Buxton, and Adalberto Mondesi. All 3 of them at 30.1. But Marcell's moving right now.
He's done that multiple times. So here is the new pitcher, Brett Martin. Lefty into the game. 4th round pick in 2014. 23-year-old, spent most of last year at Double-A. They turn around Fowler, and on deck it'll be Colton Wong. Runner at second base. And Fowler, a little tardy with that swing. 2-1. Take a look at our Chevy Fox Tracks. Cardinals have 5 runs on 4 hits here in this 5th inning. Brett Martin from Morristown, Tennessee. A lot of Cardinal fans in Tennessee.
A lot of Cardinal fans here today.
3-1 pitch. And it's taken low, so Fowler draws the walk. Inning started with Colton Wong and a fly out to left, so the batters bat around here in this 5th inning for the Cardinals. And 3 walks in this inning. The 2 previous came around to score.
I got to tell you, Dan, it's a lot more fun when our team bats around. We saw this for the Rangers in the 2nd inning yesterday. It just went south on Miles Michaelis, but Cardinals finally got something going. Got a little life.
Ball 1 to Colton Wong. Grounded back to the pitcher. Flied out to left. Lights on here at the ballpark. Got a little dark. Overcast skies. And Wong lifts a fly ball out to shallow left. And the catch is made. Matt Carpenter nearly a home run, but he'll take the double. Walk, a double, a walk, a single, a ground out. Adds up to a 6-0 lead. For Dakota Hudson, and he had the game thus far when they had, in that 1st inning, runners at 1st and 3rd and nobody out and did not score. And after that, he has been lights out.
He's settled in. I mean, this is the Dakota Hudson you expect to see. He's gone the 4 innings. He's punched out 5. He's gotten a bunch of ground balls already. He's done a great job of keeping hitters off balance. Now, he had to sit for a little bit. It's all about honing right back in on the strike zone. Strike one right here. Keep pounding that zone. That's where he's had his success because he's commanding counts here.
Sat for 30 minutes. What'd you do as a pitcher in those types of innings, and especially in this situation when you know you're not going to hit? The DH is in play, so all you're doing is worried about pitching.
I had a hard time of just sitting there through it all. I had to do some walking. I would do some stretching. Sometimes I would go in the tunnel and stretch a little bit there, maybe jog a little bit even to just make sure you keep the blood flowing. Everybody's got their own routine. But I don't know too many guys that can just sit there cold turkey and then go back out there after 30 minutes. I mean, you got to do something to keep the blood moving.
Up the middle and a base hit. Ronald Guzman, leadoff hit here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 for 2. Kiner Falefa. He struck out his first time up. 9th place hitter, and then we'll see Shin-Soo Choo.
Dakota Hudson throws a sinker middle down right here. He's going to have himself 2 outs on 1 pitch.
And that's ball 1.
Keep pouring it in.
And that is hit out to deep left field. Ozuna looks up, and it's off the wall. Guzman will be waved in. We may have a play at the plate. The throw is not in time. So the Rangers get on the board.
It's a fastball, but it's just up a little bit in the zone. A little slider, actually, up in the zone. All right, you've given up a couple of knocks. You've got yourself a cushion. Back to the talking point from the first inning. Gave up a couple of hits. He was able to sit back, execute pitches. Starts right now at the top of the order.
Shin-Soo Choo walked and struck out. Runner at second base, so the single and now a double cuts the lead to 6-1. And a ball off the plate. Choo has walked and struck out. Just joined us. We're only in the 5th inning after a 2-hour, 11-minute rain delay. Start of our ball game.
Dakota had to deal with one of those a couple of starts ago in Washington. We had a 2.5-hour delay, and he was on the bump for that one.
And he was matched up that day with a very good right-hander, and pitched well in that game.
He did. He responded really well. Punched out 7 in that ball game. They ended up on the losing end of it.
Steven Strasburg that he pitched against. And the 1-1. BJC Healthcare Difference Maker. And this is updated with what's happened here this afternoon. Against the Brewers, obviously struggled. And everybody else, it's been much better.
I really believe in watching Dakota Hudson, seeing the stuff that he has. He should be one of those guys. You see, just get deeper and deeper into ball games, get better and better. Got good feel for his stuff. I'm sure he'll get plenty of chances to see the Brewers again also and get those numbers fixed up.
The 2-1 pitch. Shin Soo Choo at the plate. And another check on Kiner Falefa. And while we have a moment, this Armed Forces Day, baseball salutes all active duty military veterans and their families for service to our country. Go to MLBcommunity.org to learn more about how you can help serve those who serve us. That's why you see the patches being worn around Major League Baseball and in this game today. And the 2-1 pitch to Shin Soo Choo. 3-1. Pitch count for Dakota Hudson. Now it's 70. And a ground ball to Colton Wong. Makes a play. Runner advances to third. And that's the first out here in the home half of the fifth. Willie Calhoun now. Base hit to right. Also grounded to second. John Gant throwing in the Cardinals pen. The idea might be get, if you can, Hudson through 5. And then after that, it's up to the bullpen. You got the off day on Monday, but throw your best arms.
Yeah, even though you did use a lot of guys in the bullpen or had to eat a lot of innings, you still have guys available. Gallegos, Webb, Brebbia, and Miller all through last night. Now the first 3, I believe they'd like to stay away from. Miller certainly available in the ball game today, but it still leaves you Gant, Helsley, Hicks, Carlos Martinez.
Yep. Oh, 1 to Calhoun outside. It does beg the question, how would you like to get Martinez involved, and, you know, in particular that first or second time out?
I think I would like to get him involved in a not as tight of a ball game and let him ease into it if I have the chance to do so. Now, I'm not afraid of him in leverage situations, but I do want him to just get used to being back out in the bullpen at the big league level.
Goldschmidt, nice play. Playing near the line, and Hudson covers the bag at first. The run will score, and that makes it 6-2. Julie Hickert, Grant Washburn, Eric Hickert, all watching Cardinals baseball. And we thank Eric for his service to our country. This Armed Forces weekend. So 2 outs, nobody on, and it brings in Mazzara. He came to the plate. Runners at first and third, nobody out. Back in that first inning, grounded to Carpenter. Chu was in a rundown. Went 5-2-5, and then Texas could not score.
Good breaking ball down the way right here by Dakota Hudson to get ahead.
And the 0-1 pitch. Kyle Dowdy, right-hander, up for the second time, and it's gotten breezy and a little bit cool here at the ballpark. Clouds overhead. Two balls and one strike.
I'd like to see Dakota make a quick adjustment just on that sinker. Get the hand behind it. That thing's just kind of coming out arm side. The hand is around it. You get run that way, but you don't get the good true sink. It's a good adjustment, even though he misses.
Is that where it becomes you're tired or you're not trusting your, what you got?
Well, I think that sometimes it just happens. You're trying to go away and you think too much away and then you don't get your arm in a good position. But it is about making adjustments. When I see a guy do it 2-3 times in a row, then I think, all right, you're getting tired.
A couple of hits and a walk in this 5th inning. That'll be his second walk. Mike Schilt was looking at Yadier Molina, and Molina looking back, and the question was, is he good? Mike will do that. He relies on Yadier Molina to give him the honest input on what's happening.
It's huge to be able to have that resource out there, and Yadi knows all of his pitchers. I mean, better than anybody.
And it brings in Gallo in one swing, and we've got a ball game here. Hits it sharply to second. Backhanded there by Wong. Ball was scorched. Boy, he hits it hard, doesn't he? Woo. Nice play by Colton Wong with the backhand. Almost took his glove off. Rangers get on the board. All right, Scotty, thank you. That's what he'll do. He's going to give you those exciting moments in a blast at Citizens Bank Park. And here's Bader, who's 2 for 2, couple of runs scored. Martin still in the ballgame, the lefty, third pitcher used by Texas. Big sweeping breaking ball for ball 1.
Bader's been the one getting it started so far. Single in the 3rd, single in the 5th. They got everything going. Big 5-run 5th inning. Harrison just happy to be out there.
I like this matchup. Anytime that Bader, and I don't care who the lefty is, but Bader against a lefty, and I'm not saying he does damage here, but his at-bats against left-handed pitching have been very good.
Just sees them so well. Always has. I mean, that's you knew that coming up for Harrison, and it showed itself at the big league level, but he's done better and better against righties, but that's where he's super comfortable.
Sling to first, and a nice play by the shortstop, Salazar. So Santana makes the play short and quickly made that throw. And the pick at first as well by Guzman. And it brings in Matt Carpenter. He was just a few inches away from home run number 6. Wound up picking up a double off the top of the wall, and he's got 2 hits today.
0-2 single to start the game. Had that double going the other way with it. Had the home run against Touki Toussaint the other night against the Braves.
So 2 for 3 today. It's gotten dark here at the ballpark.
We were sitting up here in the booth about 2 o'clock, and it looked like it was nighttime. I mean, it was that dark. Bad weather came through here, pushed us back quite some time. Word is that we should be okay weather-wise for the rest of this.
Talked about Carpenter trying to get out in front on some of these balls. He's very good at letting the ball get deep, especially if he goes the other way, and that's ideal with that swing right there.
The timing is just better, and that's something that he's been working on, been focusing on, is just getting that foot down, having the hands up at the right time, And it just looked like early on this season, and certainly it looked like that last year, and we know what it ended up looking like, that he was just a hair off. He was just a little bit off, a little bit late on stuff. And then he gets fed a diet of breaking balls all the time, and then you're looking for that, and then all of a sudden a fastball really gets on you. Getting that timing back right now.
And a 2-2 pitch. Just got a piece. Well, for fans that don't know, the Rangers franchise actually originated back in 1960. American League awarded an expansion franchise to Washington. And then there was the transfer of the original Washington franchise to Minnesota after the 1960 season. And the expansion Senators played in Washington. Then they moved to Texas in 1971. And that's your history of the location and how it all unfolded for the Texas Rangers.
And this ballpark here set to be history after this season. 1994 was the first year of it. New ballpark going up behind it.
And so the Rangers will make a move here, get the lefty out with Goldschmidt due up. 2 outs, nobody on, and it's 6. This Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the St. Louis Cardinals. And by St. Louis Children's Hospital and Washington University Physicians, guardians of childhood. With Brad Thompson, Jeremiah Johnson, and I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome back to Texas. A lot of Cardinal fans here making some noise. Cardinals with a lead of 6-2. They've out-hit Texas 7-5. And here's Kyle Dowdy, the Chevy Colt to the pen. So Dowdy gets Paul Goldschmidt. John Gant had continued to throw for the Cardinals in their pen.
Tell you what, you look at this Texas Rangers team and you see all the runs coming into today's ball game. They were tied for second in Major League Baseball as far as runs scored, but their pitching has been lackluster for them. The bullpen's been an issue. I mean, they've ran out the opener. We saw Leclerc yesterday before Sampson came in. They get that figured out one of these days. Team could be very good.
Are you a fan of American League Baseball?
No, not really.
Get used to it. It's coming.
Yeah, I know. You?
No, I'm National League style baseball all the way. 3-0. He's got the green light and looks at a strike. 3-1. Just preferred more.
No, me too. 3-0 fastball down the way. In that situation, you're right. He's got the green light, but it's one pitch, one spot. Goldie still trying to get right. 0 for 2 today.
And he takes another walk, the second time that he's walked in this ball game. It brings in DeYoung. He had a big double back in inning number 5 when the Cardinals sent 10 to the plate. That scored 2. He's driven in 3. And he's now driven in 22 on the year. Goldschmidt, your runner at first base. Cardinals a lead of 6-2. And you played and pitched in both leagues, and you saw the DH in the minor leagues.
Yeah, I like the strategy that goes into it. I like the cat and mouse, the back and forth of the, when a pitcher's maybe got another one in him, but the spot's coming up. Like, I don't know, I just enjoy the little things. I know a lot of people hate watching the pitchers hit. I kind of like that too, because the minor details of, does he get down a bunt in a situation? Does he get the guys over?
Exactly.
Are they left there? Are they not? I don't know. I just enjoy those. Not to say that there's not some of that in American League Baseball too. I mean, baseball at its core is baseball, but
you're bunting. You may hit and run a little bit more.
I don't know. I just prefer it.
I like the double switch, which is part of it.
Yep.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to DeYoung. That's hit out of play.
But it does provide opportunities like we've seen today. Harrison Bader hasn't got a chance to play a lot. He comes in. He's been a catalyst yesterday. 3 hits, 2 more so far today. Martinez has been serving as your DH. I mean, you see some of the benefits, certainly.
Wonder how many National League GMs or president of baseball operations are thinking about a couple years from now and adding players that they say, and I think maybe Harper's a good example. It's a 13-year deal, and they say, well, yeah, he'll be for the better part of this contract a position player, but tail end we can DH him.
Well, you certainly have to think that way because you know that's the way it is trending. And you look at some of those sluggers in baseball that have signed these big free agent deals, and most of the time they're American League teams that are in on it. Basically, you're taking half of the league out of it. So certainly the players' union is going to want it. It's more teams that are going to be in on their players. And maybe you get a chance to get that. Like J.D. Martinez, a good example. Like who wouldn't want that guy? But he didn't really have a position, so most National League teams were off the table. He has the monster year with the Red Sox.
Bringing 2 on to Young. Ozuna on deck. I think about the Carpenter extension. If Matt Carpenter is Matt Carpenter, you know, that's an option at DH too. Off of the pitch, the 3-2. And he's come in and walked the first 2 he's seen. American League teams typically, not always, but typically, I don't think Mike Socia had teams when they were very good played like an American League team. But typically, you see they sit back and wait for the home run, the power, and the explosion of the offense to come through. Big win for the Blues last night, so it sets up a crucial Game 5. Tied up 2-2 in that series with the Sharks. And the postgame, we'll have it for you on Fox Sports Midwest. Sharks and Blues Game 5 postgame after baseball.
Those games have been a tad exciting.
Ooh. In a way, I'm happy we're doing baseball so I don't fully focus on the hockey games. They're gut-wrenching.
I get a feeling you're still going to fully focus.
Probably. Here's Marcell Ozuna. And that's a ball. Ozuna, a couple of strikeouts and a walk and a run scored back in that 5th inning. Key moment in the game was Marcell going first to third on a base hit.
It was for sure. And in this moment, you know, Doughty wants to get back in the count, but you can't just pour in a fastball. If you do, this game can open up very quickly.
And the 1-0 pitch to Ozuna.
Goes with the slider there. Ozuna looking to pull the trigger, looking at something up, and I know it's down the middle, but he's looking to hunt a heater after a couple of walks. Smart by Doughty to go with that.
One pitch to Marcell. 1-2. Ozuna, base hit into center. Goldschmidt being waved in. DeYoung from first to third in there safely. And Marcell comes through on a 1-2 pitch and makes it 7-2.
This is a good fastball by Doughty. It's 96. It gets in on Marcell Ozuna. And Marcell just muscles it into center field.
He now is driven in 40.
See the hands just pulling in. Marcell making sure he's getting some barrel to that one. And another hit for the Cardinals there when they needed it, coming up clutch today.
And here's Jose Martinez. Runners at the corners. That's strike one. Martinez has grounded out, also fly to left, and RBI single in that 5th inning. And what was your key to the game?
Oh, cash in?
Yeah.
And we're cashing in some of these runners that have been on base. It's a nice key.
Cardinals are doing that. And that's outside and low. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch.
Martinez great at going the other way with 2 strikes.
Caught the corner and a strikeout of Martinez. Cardinals will strand a pair, but they pick up a run. He is driven in 40, and it's only May 18th. Marcell Ozuna, the single to center, and brings in Paul Goldschmidt to make it 7-2. Telecast is presented authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the account and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. Cardinals with a lead. It's now 7-2 in game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. So Dakota Hudson back out there for another inning. Good breaking pitch and strike 1 on Cabrera. The switch hitter is 0 for 2.
Cardinals had Gant going to the bullpen last inning, so you'd have to believe that the leash is fairly short, but only at 81 pitches. And with Dakota Hudson as right, and he's pumping up, pumping strikes in there, it could be a very, very quick inning for him.
Line drive, left center, Bader diving and comes up with it. Great jump, great catch. Bader in center. What a play, Harrison Bader.
Harrison reads it right off the bat. Great jump, as you mentioned, takes a really good angle at it. Coming in, sees it down, stays behind it. Really, really good play, especially in an inning where Dakota Hudson comes back out. That thing drops in front. All of a sudden, the momentum changes a little bit. Big play by Harrison Bader. Harrison, since starting yesterday, has done nothing but come up big for the Cardinals.
Here's Odor. And there's a ball. He's grounded out and flied out. 0 for 2. Not many make that play in center. A lot of center fielders give up on that ball and just let it drop.
Play it back.
Yeah. Carpenter in at third. And that pitch is strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. And he fooled him with that pitch. 1-2.
This is just filthy right here. Snaps off a slider, just middle down. Odor not looking for that. Looks like the fastball coming out of his hand. That's why you get that swing.
And a ground ball that's handled by Wong. Another ground ball out. Mike Napoli was in the house today as they count down the days or the games until they move into their new ballpark. They're down to 61 dates at this ballpark, and If not for David Freese, Mike Napoli is probably the World Series MVP of 2011. Also a member of the, and after today they'll be 60, but also a member of the Boston Red Sox championship against St. Louis.
Party at Napoli.
A fly ball to Ozuna, a 6-pitch inning, makes the catch. Doesn't have to be pretty, he's got to make the catch.
He made the catch.
Made the catch.
It was pretty, I think. Style.
7th. Miles inside that Cardinal. Out 7-2 St. Louis. Top of the 7th inning. Good to see Dakota Hudson make it through the 6th inning. Now, before today's game, Derek Gould asked a question of Mike Schild about openers and some of the things that the Rangers did last night and other teams are starting to do. And Mike Schild said, I still believe there is a value to going 6 innings with your starter. The winning percentage, if your starter goes 6 innings, it is significantly better than if he doesn't make it through the 6th. Now, heading into the 6th, the Cardinals had that bullpen ready. If Hudson was in trouble, they were going to go to the pen, but a little bit of a sigh of relief, some high fives, some handshakes after that inning. A good, quick 6th inning, and the starter goes 6th. The percentages go up. You can win a game much more often when you make it 6.
Well, we weren't sure what was going to happen. And he had that quick inning, and Molina a swing and a miss, and this is the lefty Springs.
Well, you got to love that start for Dakota Hudson. And I'll tell you what, that quick inning, it might not happen if Harrison Bader doesn't make the play that he made. So great job by Dakota, and I absolutely agree with starting pitching going deep into games. If you can give 6 innings, 7 innings, look, there's a lot of value there. I get it that not every club feels as strong about their 5 starters. Sometimes you got to reinvent the wheel and try some different things. And the Rangers have done it now 7 times in the last year plus of using the quote-unquote opener. And by the way, they've seen results. I mean, the opener's done a great job in those 7 starts. The opener hasn't given up a run yet. And, they've given themselves a chance. I just don't love it.
Little girl right there in the pink. Boy, that was close. That line drive by Yadier Molina. Now he serves it as a pop-up into the glove of the first baseman for the first out. It's a Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation in Missouri. It's nice having Jeremiah take it out of break and give you these insightful reports.
That was really good. Good stuff.
Well, his stuff today has been exceptional.
And just right out of the break, too.
Yeah.
Just bam.
Yep. Hit you over the head with it. No setup, just gives it right to you. That's lifted down the right field line and out of play off the bat of Fowler.
Guys, I've already gotten a text from Jim Hayes once today. We don't need another one.
Was it a thank you?
He was feeling a little left out when I gave a podcast plug earlier, and I didn't mention the cat chat. So let's not.
Oh, so it was forced, actually. It wasn't just.
Well, I was planning it anyways. Come on now. This isn't my first rodeo. I was planning to give him some love.
Okay.
Sure. 2 away after the line out, and now Colton Wong, who's 0 for 3. But right out of break, he comes with it.
That's how it's done.
That's a pro. There's Colton Wong, and there's 2 outs and nobody on, and a strike.
Some nice changes we've seen in this ball game today. Certainly the starting pitching. Dakota Hudson, very good. 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, tons of ground balls. He looked great. But we've seen hits with runners in scoring position, 3 of those today. Cardinals came in 0 for their last 16 in the last 3 ball games. Crooked numbers. That's 7 sitting there for the Cardinals. Cardinals had scored 5 runs in the last 3 games. I mean, so a lot of things coming together. Once again, it's one game. The Cardinals need to keep building. Need to lock this one down still, too. But sure nice to see that. And as Jeremiah mentioned off the top, nice to see some smiles in that dugout.
Out to center. Gallo with the catch off the bat of Wong, and let's stretch. St. Louis on top here in game 2. 7th inning stretch is upon us. Fox Sports Midwest, brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Toyota. Let's go places. 7-2, the Cardinals with the lead. John Gant warming up. And he'll take over. Our Chevy called to the pen. Last time we saw him, it was a 2-0 lead for the Braves, and then he gave up a 2-run homer. But it has been rare that we've seen mistakes from John Gant.
John Gant has been so good. It was a changeup to Charlie Culberson that was hit out of the ballpark, one that just stayed up. It ended up going right into Culberson's swing. But he has been really good even before that. I mean, in that inning, he looked great. He's been a guy that the Cardinals have called upon quite a bit. And called upon him here, man, when the Cardinals need a win. They win very bad. So looking to some of their guns to lock this thing down the next couple of innings.
Well, they've just told all the fans in the upper deck to head to the concourse because lightning and wind, rain headed our way. We've had a delay of 2 hours, 11 minutes, start of our ball game here this afternoon. So we will have, it looks like at some point, a delay coming up, but not yet. And I know you and I, we talked before the game, we would wait all night for a Cardinal win.
That's right, all night.
So Hudson, 6 innings, 5 hits, couple of runs, both were earned. Walked 2, struck out 5, and 87 pitches of work. And there's a look at our Hyundai pitch arsenal for John Gant. And the first pitch is strike. The groundskeeper was visiting with our crew chief Bill Miller between innings. When they bring out the phone and the iPad, that's usually not a good sign that weather is on its way. That was a nasty changeup there by Gant.
Just showed him the curveball first, then the changeup, and right now, if you're Guzman, you're thinking, oh, what's he going to do to me?
And a fly ball into left. Ozuna near the line, and the catch in foul territory by Marcel.
Marcel had to travel quite a ways to get that. It is windy in here too with this storm front coming in.
Going to go a long way up that fly ball from Guzman. And now it's Kiner Falefa. (7-2) our score. And he pumps in a fastball and a strike. Nothing at 2.
We're not going to do much with that. That's 97. No. It starts away and it comes back.
And line foul.
This bullpen has a lot of good arms. I'm not exactly sure where they'd be, though, if they didn't have Gant in it.
Base hit, pitch that was up. Change up. And a 1-out hit. Well, he has kind of been the leader of the pack. Also, Jordan Hicks. Hicks has had a very good start to his season. Kiner Falefa with his second hit. He's 2 for 3. And that base hit to left also had the RBI double. Brings in Shin-Soo Choo. Margaritaville night is coming up next Friday. You'll get that t-shirt. Also a pregame concert. It's part of our theme nights. Cardinals.com/theme. Shin-Soo Choo. Gant gets a lot of ground balls too and double plays. And there's a little chopper hit to Wong. Tough play, and he gets him. Not easy. Avoiding the runner, then the concentration to make the play. And Colton has been busy here this afternoon.
He really has. He's had some hot shots. He's had some ones he has to time, and this is one of the latter. Got the runner in front of you, stutter step. He's trying to create a diversion. Just makes that nice scoop, underhand toss. Colton's fun to watch play defense. In an age where we see a lot of strikeouts, we see a lot of home runs. To me, that's still my favorite part of the game, is watching guys that are great with the glove. And man, Colton is one of the best in the game with his.
Here's Willie Calhoun. Runner at second base. Calhoun, RBI ground out back in inning number 5. It's grounded out to second base and also singled to right. And the next pitch inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Calhoun has had multiple hits in each of the games that he's been up so far. In his 4th game here today, 1 hit so far. 2-0 fastball count. Here comes the Vulcan change. Get right back into it. Showed him inside a couple of times. Made him feel uncomfortable.
And a 2-1 pitch from John Gant. And a grounder. Goldschmidt had it, lost it, recovered. Gant to the bag. No damage done. We head to the 8th, and the Cardinals on top. It's 7-2 Cardinals. We play here in the top of the 8th. The upper deck, it's empty because of weather apparently coming this way. Now you look down the right field line, there's blue skies. You look down the left field line and you got clouds and dark.
I think behind us is the real trouble.
And a swing and a miss by Bader. 0-2. Well, Bader today again has sparked a couple of runs, scored twice, and had a base hit to right, infield hit, grounded out to short, and also a diving catch in center.
And you know he's going to grind out every single at bat he gets a chance to take at this point. He's been waiting to get these chances.
And the 1-2 lifted down the left field line, foul.
Fouling stuff and off work, and I was asking him the other day, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Are you good with, the role? He knows that he was in it last year, and he always prepares himself to start. He said, "Yep, just waiting for my name to get called, and once he get called, he'll be ready." Well, he certainly has been.
And he waves at that pitch and strikes out. Reminder: our ball game tomorrow will come your way at 1:30. Jack Flaherty and Drew Smiley tomorrow, 1:30, and that's our Budweiser What's on Tap. Well, going into this game, the Cardinals, there's no other way to put it, desperately needed a win. Desperately. And they got a very good outing out of Dakota Hudson. Give him credit in that first inning. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. And you're thinking, uh-oh, here we go again. And got out of that. And it seemed to be, not only for him, but maybe the team, a little pick-me-up. And they needed that.
Yeah, he got into a groove after that. He got the ground ball. He got Joey Gallo, who we know how dangerous he is to pop up in foul territory. And then just got the sinker going. Tons of ground balls today from Dakota Hudson, and they needed it. I mean, they needed a starter to step up. He does so, and now it's about closing the door.
And the funny thing is, too, you could win this game behind Dakota Hudson and take a look at his afternoon.
Dakota had the good slider, showed off the fastball up in the zone, sinker down in the zone. That was a great 3-2 slider that he got Chu on, ties up lefties, ties up righties. I mean, he just had it.
Little flare into center field. There's Gallo off the bat of Carpenter. But the funny thing is, you could win this game. Right now, you would like to think that would be the case, leading 7-2. And if you win tomorrow, you get a 500 trip, even though it has felt like they have been beat up on this trip.
Yeah.
Now, part of that was losing 3 or 4 against Pittsburgh and then 2 or 3 against the Phillies. The manner in which you lose some of those games. But, well, 500 on the road, you know, you'd love to win everything, but that's the idea.
Well, at this point, certainly you'll take that, and you're right. But it feels way different. But you rattle off 2 good games in a row, and then that feel changes as you head back home.
And Goldschmidt lines it to Gallo. We'll see. 7-2 midway through 8. Presented by Rawlings, exclusive fan club for kids 13 and under. Membership, you get a couple of tickets, Molina pillowcase, Fredbird mug, lunch bag, invitations to a member-only event and more. All that for just $33. Cardinals.com/kids club.
I like little guy going with the baseball pants today. Going
Love
full
it.
uni. You never know.
Tim Woodrum and Michael Hall, his crew of Cardinals Care, help with that kids club. Do a great job. Mazzara looks at a ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike, 7-2 our score. I'm proud of the fact I have begun a ticket program this year for kids to come down to the ballpark, and Tim helps put that together, and had our first group last homestand, and they loved it.
It's good to be able to share the game too with, you know, some kids that might not generally get the opportunity to do so.
Well, it's so important that we sell this game to the younger generation of fans and expose them to a game at the ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
Not on radio, not on television. Come on down to the ballpark. See what it's all about. And so I'm able to give some tickets, and they get a hot dog and a soda and a shirt and some giveaways and goodies, and come down in the dugout. And we had a group of kids that have been through a lot and compete in the Special Olympics. I loved it.
That's great.
And the players, a lot of the players do their ticket programs too. And Colton Wong has one. He had kids with cancer down last week. Adam Wainwright has done it. Mike Schilt, I think, has one. But if we don't, Brad, expose this game to those kids and get them playing or interested,
well, they're the
trouble.
future of it in one way or the other. Whether it's the consumers, they're the players.
That's
I mean,
right.
they're the everything.
Oh, Gant, it knocked off his glove, and he made the play. And what a reaction after making that play. He says, oh, yeah, I'm fine. Check this out. And John Gant comes up with a beauty. Yachty wants him to come out. Gant says, get out of here, but here it is.
Are you kidding me with this? Oh.
I'm not sure if that went off his chest and then into the glove.
I think it got a little bit of everything. John Gant, man up right there, stays right in front of him, said, I'm good. Yachty said, dude, let's check it out for a second. Adrenaline is rolling right now. What a play by Gant. First of all, he just stays in front of it, but stays with it, has the wherewithal to find the baseball.
Take a look at this normal speed. Am I right with that? It hit off the chest first?
Yeah. I mean, he bodied that, and then it ricocheted into the glove, kind of bobbled out. But man, what a great job to stick with it. That's gonna hurt later.
Well, they asked him, would you like to at least throw one? He said, no, I'm ready. Let's go.
Hey, you might as well go now. That's going to tighten up tomorrow.
Here's Joey Gallo. Gallo, by the way, on his last at bat, grounded out. It was 107 miles an hour off the bat to Colton Wong.
He's got some pop.
Oh, boy.
Gallo was honored before the game on the field, a little ceremony for the Rangers Player of the Month. Had a pretty good month. Ended up, he had 264, 10 homers, 25 driven in 25 games. And John Gant's going right after him.
And he pulls that foul. It's a combination when you think about guys that hit it this hard. He's a big guy. I mean, he's strong. But there are players that don't look like this that hit it as hard. Yelich comes to mind. Now, is he going to get to the miles per hour of Gallo? Sometimes. But it's about strength and then the bat speed. I mean, you think about his bat speed and that barrel coming through the zone. Not many have it like he does.
It's a whip. That foul ball was probably 110.
And now a word from Missouri Air National Guard.
Missouri Air National Guard. For more, visit goang.com/mo.
And the 3-2. Gallo out in front. Ground ball. Goldschmidt to Gant.
Just gets Gallo out in front. Gallo, to his credit, for a guy that's just known for his big-time pop, he hustles. He moves it down the line. A couple of ground balls to the right side. We've seen it on the one that was 107 off the bat to Colton Wong. He was busting it. He was busting it on that one.
Well, we had a rain delay of 2 hours, 11 minutes. Storms that came through earlier today to the southeast of here. The reports were softball-sized hail. There was a little hail that we had here. Not a lot, just hard rain. But softball-sized hail.
I don't think that's very comfortable.
Tornado watches in the area, and it's actually lightened up a little bit in terms of how dark it was, say, 15, 20 minutes ago. May miss us.
I'm glad the softball-sized hail missed us.
I would agree. Pitch number 30 here for John Gant. That'll go foul down the right field line and out of play. One and two the count on Cabrera. Pitch number 31 for Gant. Out of play. I'm not saying Gant is an all-star. You never know. But it needs to be a harder look at these types of pitchers in the game today. Starters don't go deep. There is more responsibility, it seems like, on these types of pitchers.
I think you make a good point with the all-star stuff. And I also think that we're going to have to see some sort of a change when it comes to contract negotiations for certain guys. Because all of a sudden now, a guy that's throwing the 7th inning, that's leverage. And that's night in, night out. I'm not saying bullpen guys aren't compensated, but it might have to shift a little bit.
You know, your 1 inning closer, many times, you know, you could make a case that is somewhat going to the wayside, not fully, but guys that can give you multiple innings out of a bullpen that are durable and are putting up numbers, got to take a hard look at them. That's fouled back. I mean, you think about, we're just past the quarterway point of the season for the Cardinals. And if you started naming the top 3 or 4 most valuable guys in 2019, John Gant is on your list.
Oh, he's definitely on your list.
2-2 pitch. Changeup taken low. I mean, he that first couple of weeks, he took the ball, seemed like every night. Maybe running on fumes here. 35 pitches. And pulled foul. But the game is changing, is my point.
Yes,
and
it
so
is.
with the changes, maybe how you look at all-stars need to change too.
Yeah, just because you have a magic number of saves or something like that, I mean, I don't think that's always the indicative of how, if you're the most important key in a bullpen.
And it is lined into the glove of Colton Wong, and 2 scoreless innings by Gant. Nice work. Kaleva Welp, he earned the 2 scoreless innings. 7-2, we head to the 9th. Budweiser plays it. Carpenter with this drive into left, inches away from his 6th home run. It was a double. Bader would score. Paul DeJong, a key double also in the inning down the left field line. That would score 2. Jose Martinez. And Yadier Molina with a ground out that led to an Ozuna run. And Marcell Ozuna maybe the key in that inning, going from first to third on a base hit to right really aggressively, and that picks teams up too, and he's done that all season long.
Seen a lot of good things in that game, specifically that inning. As we go over everything, the Cardinals 5 runs in the 5th inning. Those 5 runs match the last 3 games of output from the offense. So it's nice to see that, and the key is continuing that. How do you keep that rolling?
Two and one on Paul DeJong. We're in the 9th inning and a 7-2 ball game. Cardinals have out hit the Rangers 8-6. And DeJong, high drive out to left, got underneath it, and it's gone. A home run for DeJong. The left fielder couldn't even find it. He was looking, and it was hit so high, he thought he was under it. No, sir. It's in the seats, and it's a solo home run for Paul DeJong. How about Willie Calhoun? Under it, he thought, and it's in the seats. Nissan drive of the game, and a big day for DeJong. He's driven in 4.
It's a slider, it's hanging, and it's gone. It looks like Paul DeJong knows it's gone off the bat. Just not everybody in on that. I don't know if Calhoun did in fact lose it, or he was just having a little fun with it over there. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's gone.
Well, he was under it, and then he looked at the center fielder, Gallo, and kind of shrugged his shoulders as if to say, couldn't see it. And it's got really gray this time of night. See, I don't know, where is it? Yep, it's in the seats. 380 feet. He hit that as high as he did far.
And it might have a little something to do with just talking about Calhoun losing it, about the sky that's coming in.
That's what I'm saying. It's
gray. It got dark in a hurry.
And the 1-2 to Marcell Ozuna, taken high. So measured at 380 feet. The launch angle, by the way, 41. Man, that is hit high.
Just a little shy of the Joey Gallo home run a couple
42.
of days ago in Kansas City.
He has no idea where it is.
Man, I don't have it. You got it? Well, nobody's got it. I think a Cardinal fan got it. No harm, no foul on losing it.
That's right. Boy, it got dark here in about 3 minutes. Ozuna strikes out, and it brings in Jose Martinez. Phillips 66 tickets are back. You can fill up with 8 gallons or more and get a voucher for up to 50% off. And up to 8 tickets for a future home game. Cardinals.com/Phillips66. It's been really a lack of work for Jordan Hicks because there haven't been save situations. He pitched the other day in Atlanta and faced one batter, Touki Toussaint. The pitcher got the out on a long fly ball, and you wonder, even though it's a non-save situation, do you go to Jordan Hicks in an 8-2 ball game?
It looks like we've got our answer here.
Carlos Martinez with at least a 6-run lead.
As we were having the conversation earlier of what kind of a ball game would you like to get Carlos into, one with a little bit of a cushion would be nice, not because you don't believe that he can't get the job done, but you'd like to ease him back into his role in the bullpen. Carlos, very instrumental last year when he came back off of the DL into the bullpen. Now this time coming back off of the IL. And he'll fit right in. A lot of good arms down there. He can get lefties out. He can get righties out. He can run it up there, upper 90s when he needs to.
Backhanded, Odor, nice play.
Odor with the backhand, takes his time, makes a strong throw. Good pick at first.
A lot of Cardinal fans every time he's been introduced. Applause for Yadier Molina and the chance of Yadi here in the 9th. The helmet came off. Two strikes on Yadi. And Molina fights it off into center. Gallo won't come up with it. And Yadi thinking 2 on his way to second and safe. Molina with the double.
Yadi climbs the ladder a little bit, not running out of the box, thinks it might get caught. But then he does a good job of getting on the horse. Gallo didn't really see it. Didn't look like. And then Mazzaro wasn't quick to it.
The Cardinals want that baseball. It's a double for Yadier Molina. He just went past Rogers Hornsby on the all-time doubles list in Cardinals history. So they wanted to make sure and get that baseball. You pass Rogers Hornsby, you've done something.
Yeah, we're getting that ball.
Wow. He's now 9 away from Joe Medwick. You got any baseballs that you decided to keep?
Got a lot of firsts. And that is a pretty good list. Yadier Molina, 368 doubles.
5th all time in Cardinals history. He's going to get to Brock, probably gets to number 2, at least will be close.
I think he'll be a tad short of number 1.
Well, his contract is up next year.
Yeah, this one.
Correct. And that's the way I look at it too. I don't see any way that Yadi is done after next year, but you never know. Remember at the press conference, he said, you know, paraphrasing, this will be my last deal and move on. And I thought to myself, no way. And I mean that out of respect to him. He loves the game, keeps himself in great shape, and he's still at the top of his game.
He's getting better and better, specifically offensively. Like, he's unreal. And you can just tell how much he enjoys playing, being around him, the energy that he has.
I've thought about this before, but, you know, Pujols is going into the Cardinals Hall of Fame, Yachty, Waino. That's a foregone conclusion. And having the privilege of emceeing those dates and seeing the crowd and how they respond to certain guys. You know, you go follow your certain player. When those three go in, it'll be a madhouse at Ballpark Village. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
One of the great runs ever in Cardinals history, anchored really by those three.
By the time that happens at Ballpark Village, that place is going to have a pretty different look too, isn't it? Ballpark Village is going up quick. Second phase. There will be another phase to follow. I mean, it's going to be beautiful.
And now it's a walk to Fowler, and so runners at first and second, and Colton Wong. And Wong lifts it foul down the left field line. Well, Wong has certainly been busy in the field. A lot of ground balls his direction when you have Hudson and Gann on the mound. Trying to add to the 8-2 lead, and takes a pitch high. Looking for his first hit today. 1 ball and 1 strike. Always watch the umpires in these spots too. They're told rain is coming.
See if they get big.
Yes, sir. That strike zone, does it get a little bigger? It's a 6-run lead. Shelby Miller is getting loose in the Texas bullpen. And the 2-1 pitch to Colton Wong. Same spot. That one goes the way of Texas. 2-2.
Rain coming.
What happened on the previous pitch then?
He forgot.
Okay.
You just reminded him of the
All
forecast.
right.
You know that our audio's plugged in down there.
Wong puts it in play. A little chopper to third. And the out. Sends us to the bottom of the 9th, and the Cardinals with an 8-2 lead, and it looks like we'll see a debut of Carlos Martinez when we come back. And a light rain. Reminder, Fox Sports Go is presented by T-Mobile. Take us wherever you go. Favorite device, Fox Sports Go. Chevy called to the pen, and nice round of applause. Season debut, Carlos Martinez. Boy, was he good out of the bullpen last year.
He really was. Filled that closer role really well. And just great to see Carlos back. Another weapon I know that most would love to see. Organization would love to see him in the rotation, being able to eat up innings, help there. But look, anytime he's able to be out there, he can be a weapon. I think this is a great ball game to get him into. Ease him into action. We're going to see Carlos in a lot of close ball games if everything's right with him. But this is a good way to get it started for Carlos Martinez for 2019.
Rougned Odor. There's a light rain and then really heavy rain on its way, and it's not that far away. So here's the first pitch by Martinez, a strike at 98. You know he's amped up here.
Guess he's feeling okay.
Yeah.
Rain starting to come down a little bit harder here.
But this is the weapon the Cardinals really could use coming out of the pen, and Martinez said he still would like to eventually start before this season is through.
Well, build him up, see what happens. But in the meantime, nice to be able to have that.
0-2 pitch. Many of the fans start to head for cover, head for the exits. The rain falling, big raindrops, and the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And welcome back, Carlos Martinez, a strikeout.
It's a pitch right there that makes him really dangerous against lefties is the changeup. You saw a 98-mile-an-hour fastball outside. He tried the slider, kind of popped out of his hand, but that changeup, he just buries it. First batter of 2019, first strikeout of 2019 for Carlos.
Danny Santana. 8-2 our score. And the first pitch is strike. So fluid and easy when you look at Carlos. And then boom, it just explodes out of his hand. So talented. The 0-1 pitch outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's that whip of an arm too. It's like a 3/4 arm angle for Carlos. Ball's got good sink, good life.
And he hit a man, Santana. And with 1 out, the Rangers will have a base runner.
Carlos here trying to go inside with a fastball and just yanks this one over there. Santana still down. I mean, that's 96 off the foot.
And the rain really starts to pick up. And they're trying to get him up quickly and then get him off the field. Get a pinch runner into the ball game. It is raining hard now. And Santana, by the way, has been filling in for Elvis Andrus.
Danny, I don't expect the hard stuff to come down for quite a while.
Is that from your documentary?
Have you seen that one?
Yeah,
oh
that's
my
a
gosh.
good one too.
So it's about Bushwood Country Club, and these kids, man, I'll tell you, some caddies, they're great. Had some pros. We're getting through this here.
Bill Miller whistling in and saying,
So
"Get
gotta
in
go,
the box."
gotta go.
So here is Logan Forsythe as the runner and Ronald Guzman at the plate.
Well, tough situation right here too. As a pitcher, you want to be able to have a grip of the baseball. Carlos, he just hit Santana with 1, but hard to keep a good grip in this type of rain.
You also don't want to get anybody hurt.
No.
That is paramount.
It's supposed to be a quick moving system here.
Three and 0. Three and 1. Again on the air tomorrow, 1:30, Flaherty against Smiley, right here on Fox Sports Midwest. And a ground ball. Wong backs up a bit. Out there onto first, and it's a double play. 4-6-3, 12 pitches to get the final 3 outs. Cardinals win game 2 by the final of 8-2, and we get it in.
Great to see Carlos Martinez back in the Cardinals uniform. Dakota Hudson with a nice day, and the Cardinals with some clutch hitting. Overall, great ball game for the Cardinals, and yeah, I'd say pretty good timing to get this one over with.
It is pouring now. Right when they turned the double play, it started to pour, and they race off the field. So the Cardinals win it by the final of 8-2. Needed this win badly, and they got it. And they also got a good start from Dakota Hudson. Jeremiah Johnson trying to stay dry down there. Looks like he'll visit with Paul DeYoung on the post-game show. High fives, do it fast, and then get out of here. 8-2, post-game next.